So I've got an honest question for you. Are you just winging it when it comes to your retirement?
It turns out more than 1/3 of workers don't have any strategy for their retirement. That's according to recent research from the Transamerica Center for Retirement Studies.
Yeah, so what should we be doing? Omaha's retirement strategist, Darrell Bryant, is one of the area's leading financial advisors and retirement planners. He also hosts his very own weekly retirement radio show. Darrell, that's an awful lot of people who are just kind of winging it.
Yeah, a whole bunch of people. I don't know if, these statistics come in, 37%. I'm not sure it's not higher. Well higher.
Well, from what
do
you see?
Yeah. Well, I don't think anybody that comes into my office has done really, really well at saving, but they don't have an income plan. They don't have a plan to generate income. Everybody is accustomed to the accumulation phase. We're trained in it, really, as employees, get your 401k going in the match and all that kind of thing. But nobody is trained on that transition into retirement where it's like, okay, now I'm going to need income. What am I supposed to do now? And how does this coordinate with all of the other components of my retirement? And it's so difficult that think of it, people who are running pensions, right, which are now defunct in many areas. We have Teamsters are having problems. People are getting letters that their pension is going away, right? Pensions stopped being produced back in the 80s by and large. It's a very difficult thing to do. But to allow a client, in my opinion, to allow a client to retire with this bucket of money that they've done so well to, they've done what they're supposed to do, and now have them just kind of push them off into retirement, onto the sea of, ebbs and flows, and so now they're things just doing this, and okay, well, just let us know if you need a withdrawal. Good luck, To us, that's not income planning, and so there's the problem. And we have 10,000 baby boomers turning 65 every day in this country, and a whole bunch of them are right here in Omaha. So it's a big deal.
Well, the idea of strategy, it's in your name. So what does a retirement strategy look like? Well,
the first thing you have to do is you need to have a look at what you've done so far naturally. We need to do some studies in terms of your income deficiency. So what you would do is you say, okay, here's, when people would come to my office, we'll say, here's your age, and this is all displayed on the big screen right there in front of them. Here's your age. Here's what you want for an income. Here are your what we call your known incomes, right? And then here's how much you're going to be short on an annual basis, and those red numbers keep on getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, right? With inflation, okay? Because you have to build that in as well. But that deficiency is different for different years because Social Securities come in, maybe pensions might even come and go. Some pensions aren't forever, et cetera. So it's a complicated calculation. But I did prepare this. Can we get a tight shot on this thing? And I'll show you what generally what we do. Can we see that? Okay, right there.
Give us just a second. We'll get that up for you.
Okay. So what are we looking at here? What does it show?
Okay, this is our model for, I'll point it right there.
Next time we'll give you the Wi-Fi password, okay, Darrell?
That would be a good thing. So here's, it'd been good if I would have thought of this before I'm driving in.
No, you're good.
So here we go. So essentially what you want to do is you want to have some values, some of your life savings, right, would be in things that have absolutely no possibility of decline in value and provide a guaranteed income from an issuing entity. Okay, guaranteed, rock bottom, this can't go away. Right. I don't care if I lived 150, this is set.
Very stable.
Very stable. And this, by the way, is a version of the Wharton School of Finance's model of how to set up a retiree. So you can see it's called the Essential Model for Retirees, okay?
Makes sense.
Right here at the top. So the first thing we need to do is establish an emergency fund. If you're a grown-up, you know that, right?
And that's a small piece of the pie.
That's a very small piece of the
pie.
pie.
Compared to what we're looking at.
Sure, sure. And so, and then we want to have some things that have the rock bottom, at least get us through basic expenses and maybe some Taco Bell, right? and then other things, which would be maybe extravagances or longer-term growth or allowance for inflation. Well, wouldn't we want some percolation possibility,
yeah,
potential
and that's a
for that?
significant piece, too.
Sure. So do you see how there's balance between the stuff that's at risk and the stuff where there's no risk? Clearly, just at a glance, you say, well, that kind of makes sense, naturally, okay? The problem is in my industry, you have these people fighting this camp, fights against this camp. In other words, the at-risk guys fight against the no-risk guys, and what they should be doing is complementing one another.
And finding that balance.
And finding the balance. But the problem is, if you go see the no-risk guys, meaning the insurance guys, okay, these are guaranteed income streams. They can be provided very well. Is this up and running? Okay.
There you go.
Can be provided very well by annuities if you use the right one.
Yeah.
One of the best ones earned over 11% last year, 0 fee. Okay. And they can also provide long-term income. And then if you go see one of these at-risk guys, then they're going to say, well, hey, let's keep everything at risk. Okay. So these guys say to these guys, you're not keeping your client's money safe.
Right.
Right. And so they just end up fighting against each other. And so that's the basis of.
But you help put that whole plan together.
Of course.
And then you
yeah.
have that other piece for heirs, right? What was that for?
Yeah. So ordinarily when we do the when we do the plan, very, very commonly people will come in and say, gee, I had no idea we could generate that kind of an income and not worry about that over the years, and we'll find an overage. Then we have to be concerned about what are we going to do with the fact that you're overfunded? What are we going to do with that extra $300,000 or $400,000 that we could throw out the window and you're never going to need it?
It really makes sense because, like you said, you have that bucket of money when you retire.
Sure.
You don't want to just head off into the sunset with that money. If you do not have a plan in place for how to retire successfully, you may be able to get one today free of charge. Just be one of the first 5 callers right now to see if you qualify. Here's the number, 402-932-2141.
Of course, you must be nearing retirement or already retired and have at least $250,000 in investable assets. Again, the number to call you can see on your screen or go to dbryantretirementstrategies.com. Darrell, good information, a good way to,
I like the
put
iPad
it in
demo,
perspective.
too.
And,
Thank you. Yeah.
Makes sense.
and to get people to quit winging it.
Yeah, you can't wing it. Listen, do not do that. My goodness, that is just a recipe for disaster. Okay.
Makes sense.
Yeah,
Thank
give
you
us a
very
call.
much.
We'll set it up for you.
How about